Hi there, Scorpio. Welcome to your mid-March 2023 General Tarot Update. It's Raina here. Alrighty then, let's see what is going on with the cards. It's nice. In typical Scorpio fashion. Not that you're doing it, but I'm just saying. Okay, I'm gonna pick an additional card. Oh, interesting. And I'll just pick one now so I don't forget. I have a new Oracle deck. I haven't gotten one of those in a long time. It's called the Star Codes Astral Oracle. So let's just shuffle this new deck. Interesting. I actually got this for another sign, I think. Saturn. Okay. Alrighty then. Okay. So we'll talk about that in a minute. The heart of the matter is the Ace of Cups, and this is a card of new beginnings in love. And, obviously all of you are not in that stage where you're single or you're open to new relationships. So this is not necessarily applicable to all of you. Maybe you're starting a new healing business. I mean, it can be anything creative as well that is beginning. The Ace is about beginnings, new beginnings. And we do have, at this time we're in the Pisces season still. I haven't decided whether I'm going to do an end of the month type of card read, or if this is going to be it, because a lot of times I will talk about the astrological influences, and we do have a new moon in Aries that is coming up in a few days, actually, because I'm recording this on the 6th. No, actually, I'm recording this on the 15th, so it's going to be 6 days from now. But that's, pretty soon. The 21st is the new moon. And this is an area, the area that it affects you is the 6th house, but it's at 0 degrees of Aries. So it's actually, you could say it's on the cusp with Pisces. So it could be in your 5th house, and that's the house of love. So probably, this is very apropos astrologically as well. Okay, and but the 5th house can be the business that you own, and the 6th house is the house of work. So that's where I'm talking about with any kind of healing business or something like that. In the past position, we have the 7 of Swords. I was laughing earlier because this can be a card of somebody who is acting sketchily, maybe like cheating on you or stealing from you, and this is in the past position, so this would have already happened. But like if you were in a relationship with someone who was unfaithful, which is probably Scorpio's worst nightmare, being in a relationship with a cheater. But in any case, you're someone who, you love hard. So if the Ace of Cups is showing up here, it's suggesting that you are open to love, open to something new, even if you have been betrayed by someone. And that's a big deal for a Scorpio person. The higher message, which can also be something to look out for, is the 5 of Pentacles, which is the card of maybe having some kind of restrictions, feelings that there's a limitation somehow as it pertains to your situation. Because with this particular card, you may be feeling a sense of um, lack consciousness. And the the way that this can show up is being apprehensive about, let's say you are starting a business. Oh my God, when am I going to get my first client? How am I going to, and all of those things. Like when I started with my business doing this, it was actually over 2 months before I got my first client. And I was literally, and I do not like to overuse the word literally. It's very annoying when people use the word literally these days, left and right. But I was right about to throw in the towel because it had been over 2 months, and I was having thousands of views, and I'm like, come on, man, what are the odds? What are the odds? And I'm not, you know what I mean? What's going on here? But the thing is that once I got that first client, it just started being regular. So the thing that I realized with that situation, which by the way, I've had to relearn over and over again in other seasons of my business, where I've had to realize that it's to me it's energetic, and it's not about statistical odds, because I would have had a client by then. It just was ridiculous. On the mundane level. But this isn't about the mundane. And I one thing about me is that I'm really like a big kid at heart. So I really get like excited about what I'm doing in relationship to what I'm creating. And if you're the kind of person where your material concerns are front and center, you're going to be like that Five of Pentacles if you're not careful. You have to find that passion and that uh, really what the Ace of Cups is not even passion. It's about that devotion. And the devotion, there's a purity to it. That's why the bird is white, as far as I'm concerned. It's like that sense of purity. If a person is tainted, if they are too into the material, they're not going to be able to appreciate what they have. They're going to be always feeling a sense of, it could have been better, why wasn't like this. And even if they do well, they may hold themselves to some kind of standard that is not necessarily realistic on a consistent basis because of the ebbs and flows of life. But anyway, in any case, it can have something to do with love. This could be like, if there's somebody in your reality that you are talking to, or that is interested in you, Scorpio, and you are thinking of the Seven of Swords. You're thinking of this person that you feel did you wrong, and you're like, oh my God, what if this person does the same thing? Well, you're already creating, what do they call that? A self-fulfilling prophecy. And that would be sad. Why do that to yourself? You have the ability to kind of embrace love and not push it away. And you get to decide what you're going to do. What crosses you is the King of Cups. Now, for some of you, if you are very stuck and you refuse to either see a therapist or get some kind of guidance from some kind of a counselor or a spiritual teacher, somebody who can get you out of that rut of what came into my mind is stinking thinking, which is part of AA. But yeah, it really works. This idea of like the negative self-talk, or just kind of like those conditioned patterns. Then that is something that is holding you back. For other people, this could be the person in your life, even like a father. The king can be a father or father figure. In the challenge position, this person could be an alcoholic or other addict. They could be very manipulative, and maybe this is this guy, and this person um, could be trying to guilt you, trying to get you to believe something that has no basis in reality, that you do not have to follow, that you are under no requirement to follow. And the reason that this is so vital is because sometimes these sorts of people, they're doing this for a very obvious reason. They are trying to maintain control of a situation. And you don't have to um, fall for somebody's manipulation. Um, Sometimes people, I understand this very well because I'm a Sag, I'm not a Scorpio, except in Vedic astrology I actually am. But we buy into those things because some people still have those um, either like blind spots within ourselves where we are not quite sure, we have confusion, and also the old patterns, the old programs are still running. Once those programs are no longer running, people do not have that power over you, and it's really amazing. It's hard for me to articulate this because it is a process, and people go about it in different ways. Sometimes it just comes to you from trial and error, like just living life, where you begin to kind of see how life works and how other people try to really control you. And some of these people are not bad people. They have their own, shadows that they are still contending with. And this is their way. Manipulation is a really um, to me a common what do you call that, like defense mechanism, because some people it has worked for them in the past, and they are also one of the reasons why is they're not taking responsibility, so they're kind of in that blame game. So if you have somebody in your life who is trying to blame you for their problems, you know that you're in that pattern, and you have to be the one to identify it and not allow that person to gain access. And that might be an X. So just keep that in mind, that that might be something that's going on. What is coming in is the Nine of Wands. These are boundaries that you are setting in your life. Now, if you are like dating somebody new, and you're dealing with an ex, and this could even be like the father of your child, this person may have some access to you in some way. You may have to figure out a way so that you lessen your contact with them if they are like very problematic and you don't see any chance of them improving their life. Um, this is something that sometimes people don't realize, that they really have this need that they have to set boundaries. It's hard. It's not easy because we are. I think that Scorpio people are very loving people, but and actually I have made this comment before because I believe that this might be true, is that I personally think that I don't know about Scorpio men so much, but I think that Scorpio women sometimes may have a very aggressive demeanor because, the two rulers of your sign are Pluto, but also Mars. And that Mars is kind of like, to me, that masculine, because it rules Aries, that it might be kind of aggressive and very competitive work wise. And Pluto loves power too. But in your private life, this is where you may actually be submissive, passive, and this may lead to relationships that are problematic. And you may have to put your foot down. I'm not saying that this is a current relationship because with the Ace of Cups, I really see the tide turning and new love coming into your life. But there might be somebody that's, from a past relationship who might even have like a sixth sense about you, kind of having new love coming in, and they are right there trying to maybe sabotage it, and you have to put your foot down. This is the outcome card. I picked an additional card because this is not the kind of card that I would ever end a reading on. This is the Five of Wands. This is a card of conflict. This may be something that is inevitable in a particular situation, because I'm going to read this whole reading rather than talk about career. I want to just focus on relationships. And sometimes, especially if that Nine of Wands is present, you may have to put your foot down, but you may have to expect conflict. And some of you Scorpios, maybe a lot of you, have inner planets in Libra, and this can be very distressing for you, even as Scorpios, because Scorpio is obviously an emotionally intense sign, but that doesn't mean that you want to stir up any shit. You know what I mean? You're kind of like, yes, there might be some Scorpios here and there, like if you have the moon in Scorpio or the moon in Aries, or the moon in Leo, or, there are some signs that may love the drama. But all in all, I think that Scorpio is a sign that you kind of keep your cards close to the vest, pardon the pun, and you're not like really oversharing your life. You're kind of you're a very private person. So, but you don't want to like really cause emotional chaos. The only time when you really can get a bee in your bonnet, if somebody like betrays you, okay, and then the lower nature of Scorpio would be to seek revenge, which is not really, I don't feel that is appropriate or good, karmically, you know what I mean? Meaning that if somebody is doing you wrong, the best thing you can do is to extricate yourself from that situation. And if you try to prolong the agony by like stirring up drama, you're going to, tighten that connection with that person when you're trying to loosen it. So the more detached you can become, the more easily you will get over this situation. And I know that it's not easy, when it's somebody who you trusted and maybe you have a child with in some cases. It's not easy, but it's more advantageous in the long run. It may feel like, I've said this before, if you have Mars in Libra as a Scorpio person, you may feel like that person needs to experience, what happened to me, because it's not fair. That might be your mantra. It's not fair. It's not fair. But the truth is that at a higher level, we are co-creators with our situations, and we have to accept the fact that we are in that dance, and we can't just totally play the victim in any situation. We have to realize that we are there, and there's a reason for that, all for everything that happens. So anyway, accept the drama. I mean, accept the conflict that may result from you putting your foot down, which is this, you setting boundaries, and somebody else may balk at that and say, get angry, like have a temper tantrum, and you have to stand firm. You don't have a temper tantrum too. You stay above the fray, but you allow yourself to stand in your power. And, that's where, with the Ace of Cups, your love comes into to play, because you are the captain of your ship, and nobody gets to tell you what to do with your life. And so I picked an additional card, and we have the Ten of Cups, which is a card of happily ever after, the pot at the end of the rainbow. What this means is that by you, taking charge of a situation and, telling people what line they can't cross, you strengthen your family. And your family may just be you and your child. You may just have like a very small family, and it may just be you in some cases, and maybe not even any kind of person that you are currently with. But the point is that you are experiencing something that is a culmination, and it's a happy culmination. It's not something that is, you know what I mean? Like the number 10 is the end of a cycle, and this is an emotional sense of like closure in a happy sense. And that is great because, the ace is the beginning of something. So this can also be, if it's kind of in alignment with that Ace of Cups, you might have met the person that eventually will be your life partner. And so all of that conflict is worth it if in the end you get to be with the person that is the most aligned to you. Okay, that's what I have for you, Scorpio. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.